So, hi, welcome to this podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with
Tiff from Rodeo Boys.
and with some questions to say about their new album, Junior. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Thank you. I feel so good about it. It's been better than we expected, and so we're really stoked on it.
Hell yeah. Well, the
Oh
album
yeah.
fucking rips.
Oh yeah, damn
Thank
straight.
you.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Of course. And is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
So the cover art is basically just elements from the songs and from the album. There's a lot of imagery within the songs, like the UFO and the two-headed calf and stuff like that. So that's pulled from All American Man. And then there's, just cool campy things that we have kind of collaged together. Junior, I thought I say it in the song Let Down, but I just like it as like a it's kind of like we're quite rural. So it's Junior is like a bit of a condescending nickname a little bit, like a
Mhm.
in a playful way, but like it's almost like talking down a little bit, but like
Yeah.
playfully of like, get over here, Junior, or like, figure it out, Junior, like
Mhm.
that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So that's where the name comes from.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hell
Gotcha.
yeah. I
So
love I love when bands call back to like the songs on the record with little motifs in the album art. That's so awesome.
yeah.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
Yeah, it's real messy. I'm trying to actually like think about it more and hone it in now, but on that record, I mean, really the writing process is just like sitting down as much as possible and like riffing around and like getting really frustrated and having like nothing come to me, and then maybe I'll be like falling asleep and I'll have like a line come to me, or I'll be like
Mhm.
driving or something and a line will come to me. And so like I don't feel super in charge of my like writing process. It's like I have like a notes app filled with like multiple lines that I've just kind of liked, and then I've got like the like voice memo app is just filled with like partial riffs, or
Mhm.
like just like little vocal melodies that like would be really embarrassing if anybody ever went through them. So it's just like
Yeah.
me in a car singing like off key, like and like mumbling like words that don't make any sense to like try and figure out, and then I just kind of like put them together once I get inspired by something. So it's really I don't know if it's unconventional, but it feels like hard to harness a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
when you say you're trying to hone in on your writing process, are you trying to be more intentional? Like, I'm curious about that since you mentioned your writing process is just like it controls you.
When it
It
happens, it
does.
happens.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, I'm like, I didn't write that song, the devil did, or like
You kidding
uh
me?
Yeah.
yeah, so I was on tour with Laura Jane Grace recently, and I talked to her about her writing process, and she was like, I write lyrics first, and like, you're not going to come up with like new chord progressions. They've all been done. So write the lyrics first. So I'm like trying to do that now. And like, I don't know. I just started trying it, and it's like, it feels unnatural because I'm like, but I find myself a little bit stuck because, every time I pick up a guitar, I find myself writing like the same chord progressions, just like she
Mhm.
said. And it's like, I don't have any like exciting melody ideas. Like sometimes when I've written in the past, I'll just be kind of playing around, and then a melody will come to me, and then I'll write around that melody.
Mhm.
um and sometimes if I get stuck, like a like real helpful thing can be moving to a different instrument or something,
Mhm.
that can sometimes like open up, I think, like a little bit of a block with like new melodies and new chords that like maybe, if you just go to the guitar every time, it's going to be the same like open E, A, whatever kind of chord progression. So that's what I'm trying now. And I want to get into maybe some of the like writing prompts type stuff, just doing like some different exercises to like kind of hone in on the skill. because I would like to be a little more in control of it, you know.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
blame you. They would be good to be a little bit more in control. I'm curious about like the timeline for the record, when you guys kind of started writing the album, when you had the masters in hand. Rough dates, they don't have to be exact.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a couple of the songs before the last album, Home Movies was even released.
Hmm.
Just because we sat on that one. That one took us like we did it all ourselves, and we did it in like attic and closet spaces, and so like we it like so when we did that one, it took so long to do because we did it all ourselves. It was like 2 years before we even like had it finished and like had it released and stuff. And um so I was already writing like new songs, and honestly by the time that record even came out, I was like over the songs on that record because we had played them live so much. And like,
Yeah.
it was hard to be excited about them because I had like new songs I was working on that I was really excited about. So I would say like a couple of songs I wrote as early as like 2022, 2023, and then a few of them I wrote like literally in the studio for pre-production. So we worked with Tom May from the Menzingers, and we went to Philly in June for pre-production, or May for pre-production. And yeah, like one of the songs, or two of the songs actually, we wrote Blue and All American Man. We wrote All American Man together in his living room like the night before, and then brought it to the band the next day and like put it together, and that ended up being the first single. Um and then like Blue we wrote literally in the studio with the band. um and yeah, and so those ended up being on the album, and they were written. We went to record the record in July, the beginning of July. So really we had like a month between pre-production and like actually tracking the record.
Mhm.
And then yeah, mixing and mastering. I don't know when the mastering was like officially done by. I'll be honest, mastering's a bit above my head. I'm like, yep, sounds good. I don't know. Like,
Like,
Yeah.
what are you really doing?
what's happening there? It sounds good. And then they're like, do you like version A or version B better? And I'm like, these sound the exact same. Does anyone else have an opinion?
Yeah. Please, someone say that they sound different, because it doesn't
Truly.
sound
So
different to me.
Yeah.
yeah, so like I don't know when the mastering was actually done. But we planned out, I think, I want to say it was done maybe by like November. And
Mhm.
so then we planned like pretty ambitiously to get the records pressed and ready to roll by April. And we were actually able to do that. And we actually were able to get them for that Laura Jane Grace tour was all of April. And we didn't know we were getting it until like very last minute because another band had dropped. And we were able to have records for it, and we
Oh
sold
yeah.
out of all of the records we brought before it was
Damn,
even out. And so that
That's
was so
great.
cool. That
Yeah.
felt really good.
that's awesome.
What song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
So I guess like longest to write, I feel like All American Man. I think like I just didn't like it. Like I had bits and pieces of a song and like, like the bones, but I was like, man, I wasn't super into it. And like the chorus I had written for it was like wasn't working. And like, so I scratched the idea of even having it on the record. And like, I had sent it to Tom, and he was like, can we go back to it? Like, I want to work on that. And the boys had gone out to like a dive bar, and it was just he and I in his living room, and we were like working through it. And like, he was, like, oh, what if you hold on this E? And like, we just wrote like a totally new chorus for it. And at first I was like, I don't know, we've never like put out a ballad before. This sounds like it's like quite vulnerable, and like I
Mhm.
like it took me a long time to come around to it. But once we like got in the studio and like really worked through like the elements of it, and like how, how we're gonna do it so that it's like simple but also like very heavy hitting,
Mhm.
it became a lot more special to me. Um, but my favorite is Cowgirl in the Dark. That's it's my favorite to perform live. It was I think I got the vocal takes in like 2 or 3 takes.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
just was so into it. We had the lights off where we recorded. was this it's an old Masonic temple. It's called the
Oh.
Lodge in it's in Kentucky. I think it's in Dayton, Kentucky. It's right outside of Cincinnati. And like the lights were all off, and it's like actually like quite a like creepy place. It's got clowns and stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And like the lights were all off, and I was just like this big open room, and like just kind of like felt like haunted and like just felt like possessed by it, and like just wailed it out. And it's my favorite song I've ever written, and it's my favorite to do live. It's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Love it. So how'd the tracklist album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, close be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Yeah, I think that's something that like I put a ton of thought into, and so did Tom. I'm not really like I like, singles and EPs and stuff, but I like full like I like listening to full albums as well
Mm-hmm.
as like a whole concept. And when I do like for my work and stuff, I like I'm kind of old school in that way, that I like really value like an album as like a kind of like a book, where it's like it has a beginning, middle, and end. Um, and I don't know, that feels like not super popular anymore, but it's something that we put a lot of thought into. So like, the intro track, I was just like I'd been messing around on an omnichord, and I was like I really would like to do some kind of like cool intro. And so we were playing around with something, and then we went like Tom and I spent like 4 or 5 hours like making it, and didn't even tell the band about it. And then we were like, like, hey, do you guys want to listen to this? Like, and if you hate it, that's totally fine. Like, no worries if you hate it. But like, it's like I was like, we just spent like 4 hours working on it, so I hope you guys like it, because we just wasted it that time. Like, I'm sorry. And then the outro track, we were just messing around at rehearsal one night, and we started just like kind of jamming on that like that rhythm riff. And then it was like we were kind of like soloing around and stuff, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we just had like a shreddy thing at the end? And so I just like I don't know, I think I had my phone on, and I was like, let's try and do it again. Did a voice memo, and like we were able to kind of recapture it. And then Caleb and I do like a call and response with guitar solos, and it's the first guitar solo I've ever like really written and played. And so mine's the one that's not as good, but yeah, so we did like two guitar solos next to each other, and it's just like I don't know, it just felt like fun and powerful to do.
Hell yeah. Well,
Hell yeah.
we respect bands that put a lot of effort into track
Oh, yeah.
lists, hence why we asked the question. We're big album people, and
Yeah.
think it's bullshit that we live in the age of singles and
Singles.
TikTok moments and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to talk us into, doing singles and EPs and stuff like that. And I don't have any problem with EPs. I think they're cool. I really like albums. I like making albums,
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So.
Damn straight. All right. And would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating the record?
Oh, well, in the writing process, it's usually like, bad. And then
Yeah. All right.
like during the recording process, that was actually like so incredible and special. Like I felt really inspired. That was our first time working with a producer. And so like that was really special. And like, I admire Tom a lot, and it was just like so cool to kind of like, have his songwriting capabilities like with us to help us like work on it. And it's just like really inspiring. My friend Maura Weaver, she was there. She sang on a couple of tracks, and she was there, and I'm a huge fan of her songwriting and singing and stuff. And she actually like threw in some really cool ideas for like, oh, I think you should have this like vocal like track here or whatever. And yeah, I don't know, it's like extremely inspiring to be in like a camp with like all of these talented people. And our engineer John is also like a very talented musician, and he had ideas for like some synth parts. So I just felt like extremely motivated and inspired. And yeah, I mean that's so it's usually like when I'm writing alone, and I'm usually like, sad or something. And then when I'm performing it with the band and stuff, it's like really exciting. And then tracking it was really exciting as well.
That's good.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I would say, I mean, truly whatever's clever, whatever I think coming to see us live is really
Mhm.
the best way to experience it. Uh-oh, did I lose you guys? No, okay,
No,
gotcha,
No,
cool.
we're
no,
here.
no, we got you.
Yeah, I think honestly, like coming to a live show, like there's just a huge energy there that it's not like, I mean, I think we did our best translating it over the record. But I think that it that's the number one way I would say to listen to it. And then I mean, I think some of them are great workout songs. I love having, like a upbeat, fun, hooky workout playlist to listen to. Um, and yeah, I mean, maybe also, like spinning the vinyl by yourself, uh, with an old fashioned or something is also a very great way to listen to it. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sounds dope. Damn straight. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
oh boy. Okay. Desperate,
Okay.
uh, camp,
Mm-hmm.
and queer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
those are
yeah.
the three I would give.
All
Damn
right.
straight.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Um, I mean, I just like I hope that people can relate to it in the same ways that like I relate to, a song that like hits a certain nerve so much so that I have to listen to it again. You know what I mean? Like I really hope that like it gives a voice to, especially like queer mask people or trans mask people. Like I want them to, feel that same um solidarity that like that I feel like comes through in All American Man and some of the other tracks, like
Hmm.
I want I want to be I want people to relate to it, and I want people to, feel even half of what I was feeling, when I was writing it and recording it and stuff. So if that happens, I'd be very stoked.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Wonderful. All right. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
I thought vocals would be harder than they were. I like kept bracing John, the engineer, and Tom. I was like, "Oh, we'll see when we get to vocals, guys, because I might need like a ton of takes. I get a little nervous when I'm doing vocals." And then I was like very pleasantly surprised that we were able to like get through them quite easily.
Yeah.
And then with challenges, I feel like playing to a metronome is tough for
Mm-hmm.
us because we're a band that kind of goes off of like speeding up, and like it's a lot of feel, and so like we'll rush the choruses and then draw back in the verses and stuff, and so we all as a band had a hard time. Like there are times that we had to just like kill the metronome for the chorus because it was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, it feels good at this pace, whether
Yeah.
or not it's like, you know perfectly steady. And then I do notice now when we play live, we play the songs so much faster, and like
Nice.
I don't know, it's yeah, it's tough to. I think that's like a huge challenge is like tempos, and then knowing in the moment what's going to be the best tempo for the song because it's forever,
Mhm.
Mhm.
except for like when you play it live, it'll be the forever tempo. So yeah, I think that's pretty challenging, and then also like I'm not the best guitar player, and so like something that like I had to do is I had to kind of like relearn how to play. So I wasn't like I like learned on an acoustic, and I play a lot of open chords, and I'll do a lot of like strumming accents and stuff that
Mhm.
like just muddy up the rhythm take. And so I kind of had to learn to just like, okay, I just have to play like straight eights, or like I have to just like play this in a way that's not like, you know, messy. And so that was a little bit challenging, but we got through it.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah.
I want to ask you guys how, if you don't mind, how did you guys listen to it?
I listened to it right here at my computer.
Nice.
The first time, when we were supposed to chat a couple weeks ago, I listened to it here. This
Okay.
morning, though, I'm going to be honest, had to get up way too fucking early in the morning. So I did listen to it laying in bed before I got up this morning on my phone speaker. I'm very sorry to admit that
Oh, hey,
to you.
listen, would you recommend?
Yeah.
On the phone speaker?
I mean, maybe not on the phone speaker. I'd recommend the album. I thought it sounded
sure.
good, but
Yeah.
maybe not
Yeah.
on the phone speaker. I wouldn't recommend listening to the
the
music
phone
the way I
speaker.
listen to it.
Mhm. For the first time,
Yeah.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your
Yep.
second choice?
Ooh, well, okay. So if it's the beginning of a long tour and I haven't been on tour for a while, I'm gonna get like Doritos, like spicy sweet chili Doritos or something,
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
right? If it is the end of tour and I've eaten like absolute garbage, or even like the middle, or I've been on tour for like pretty consistently, at the Loves, I've been getting grapes and pineapple.
Hell yeah. Gas station
So,
grapes.
gas station grapes,
Mhm.
when they're not all mushy and you get like some of the good ones, they can be decent. So
Life changing. Oh, well,
Uh-huh.
decent works too. Yeah. Yeah.
fruit on the road is like, it can be hard to come by, and so when you get like some fruits and vegetables, it's like, oh, I feel so good today. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Energized and like full of life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'll go with Diet Coke usually.
Diet Coke. Hell yeah. All right. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh boy, I don't know. We've been talking about spaghetti a lot lately for some reason. I don't know.
Spaghetti, all right.
I don't know why though. I think it's the Christian merch idea for with spaghetti. It's not even worth getting into, but there's I think we've been talking about spaghetti quite heavily lately, so I'm gonna say spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I
It's
will
an
leave
easy
it at that.
staple.
All right.
It's cheap.
Yeah. Love
It's
it.
cheap and it's the best. Hell
It's
yeah.
accessible. Yeah.
Accessible. Yeah, there you go. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to be as accessible as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. And for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
I want to say like, I want an old fashioned,
Mhm.
and then I want like a really nice ribeye
Mhm.
with like broccolini, and I'm like so regular, like a baked potato, like that's
Yeah.
just like so average. But then I also would like chocolate cake at the end.
Damn straight. Yeah. Yeah. Good pick. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
So all the places I'm thinking of, I just don't want any of the weird shit to be happening. Because like Stranger Things seems like fun, but I don't want to do the upside down bullshit. And
Yeah,
also
no, rather
like
not.
Twin Peaks seems fun and like cool. But again, I don't want any of the supernatural things to be happening to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just the happy scenes of those places.
The good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or maybe like the Goonies.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Go on a little adventure. Damn straight.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And now that I've asked the last question, every single person I've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
So I always thought it was mustard yellow, but I'm learning recently that it is like hot orange, like the scarlet crayon from like Crayola crayon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that used to be one of my
Yes.
favorites to work with.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. To work with. Yes.
Yeah. Carve
My
out.
favorite medium.
There you go. My favorite medium. Damn straight.
That's great. All right. Well, as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
The record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please listen to Junior. I worked very hard on it and I love it very much.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you. It's been Tiff from Rodeo Boys, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.